How's it going, ghosts and ghoulies? It's me, ya boy, Alake, Ghost of the Crowd. Um, First and foremost, I want to apologize for not uploading the past couple weeks. That first week, Tears of the Kingdom came out, and honestly, I have no excuses other than that. I was playing the hell out of it, and I'm probably sure that you're wondering, since I brought it up, you're probably thinking, why aren't you recording that instead of showing us what's on the screen right now? And to that, I say, I don't have that kind of Delgado. I don't have any kind of Delgado other than just the Epoch Cam that I have with my, or that I bought or downloaded or whatever on my iPad and phone. And secondly, that was just one of those games because that I wanted to experience kind of to myself and take it my own pace, like Pokemon, which we'll get into that here in a minute. But as for this past week, not like yesterday, but like last week, had some very heavy personal stuff happen, and so I couldn't really do anything. Like there was no motivation for it. But I know that this is a later video, like a day late, but I'm staying by my word. I want to make sure we get something up at least every week. Which, that first week with no actual upload, I still put up, the little clip of me dancing with a Lionel. So, I mean, there was that. So it's only really technically only 1 week without an upload. So, hopefully you guys can forgive me for that. But today, now that we got all that out of the way, today we have literally, I'm pretty sure, our first bit of Pokemon content on the channel. And I am going to be, as you can see here, playing Showdown, which, for those that you don't know, Pokemon Showdown is I'm pretty sure a community made, like a fan made, like fucking, I guess, program website. Basically, it's a battle simulator that is heavily just regulated by fans, and so like a lot of the competitive stuff that you hear about is usually coming from what happens here. And uh basically the whole plan today was to, I mean, mainly just to get something out on the channel, but I realized, I haven't put any Pokemon stuff on the channel, and this is the best I can do without having to go and get a Delgado. So we're gonna be playing some Showdown. And it's not like this is just random out of the blue. I have genuinely wanted to play Showdown for the channel before. I just haven't for whatever reason. And so, what better time to do it than now when Pokemon Home has updated? And so now all the Hisui Pokemon are legal, and what you see here is my actual, well, not one to one my actual team because the stats are definitely not it. But you have what is basically what my team from Legends Arceus was. We got Bale, like Balefire, the Cyndaquil evolved into Hisuian Typhlosion. Uh, I kind of have a personal rule when it comes to Pokemon that I don't repeat Pokemon across regional teams, but this was the one exception because literally two Pokemon out of the starter choices were past starters I've picked before, being Cyndaquil and Rowlet, and I'm pretty sure that would lock me into Oshawott. But let's be real here. I like Samurot's cool. I just don't care for it. But so yeah, we have Bale the Hisuian Typhlosion, Kabuki the Hisuian Zoroark. We have Basculegion. We have Lillian the Hisuian Lilligant, which is probably my favorite Pokemon on this whole team, by the way. We have the Alpha Overquill, which, I mean, you can't really reflect that in Showdown, but my Overquill is an Alpha Overquill. I can't remember if I caught the one that they just basically force you to fight or not. I want to say I just found an alpha. Yeah, no, I found an alpha Hisuian quillfish and evolved it, and then later found a regular size shiny Hisuian quillfish and got a little frustrated. But whatever. I like the alpha more, even though like shinies are nice. I've always been back and forth on this one's shiny. And then finally, what was going to be a very different team layout, by the way, because Lillian was not even going to be on the team. Originally, it was going to be an attempted shiny hunt, which later did successfully go well, of a shiny Hisuian Electrode. And then I wasn't sure what the fuck was going to be on the last part of the team. However, we ran into this sweet girl in the middle of the gameplay, which has never happened to me before. I've never just prior to Legends Arceus, I have not ever run into a shiny during the main story of the game, and that's why Raya is on this team because I felt that special about it. Like I was so surprised about it. But yeah, this is my team, and essentially just to kind of run through what I kind of intend for each one of these guys to do. So I guess we could start with Raya. She's got the Guts ability, which for those that don't know, if she's status, her attack gets stronger. And oh, it ignores burn. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so yeah, I set this up fairly well then, I guess. So the flame orb, she'll take less damage from it, but get a attack bonus out of it. With wild charge for stab, which I mean she's gonna get damage back anyway. Psychic fangs, that's it for some coverage, and it's a physical attack, does 85 damage, but also destroys screens, which considering how prevalent those are in the current metagame, thanks to fucking what's it called? The ogre. Give me a second. I'm usually a lot better at this. Uh, Thanks to the Pokemon known as Impotent, Morgrim, Grimmsnarl. There we go. Yeah, thanks to Grimmsnarl being heavily prevalent in the metagame due to its prankster ability, it gets screens set up fairly easily, and so Psychic Fangs is to help with that a bit. Play Rough, again, more coverage, and it uh, also has a little bit of fun bonus there. And Facade. Facade is going to heavily rely on that Flame Orb. It doubles its power because of the status condition, so that 70 is actually a 140. So that's going to be some really, really good stuff. We'll get to her last, I think. Let's go to Kabuki. Kabuki, she is normal ghost, the first of her kind, and I think the only of her kind, if I'm correct. And as far as Pokemon with that typing go, um, but she has Hyper Voice to go off some normal stab, and I gave her Throat Spray because that's going to give her a, let's see, it gives her a special attack bonus by one stage after using a sound-based move, which is Hyper Voice. So she'll throw out 90 damage and then get a bonus to her special attack, which is going to be very, very nice. Plus she has Nasty Plot to raise her special attack by 2 as well. Has some U-turn for coverage, but also to get the hell out of dodge if need be. And Bitter Malice, which has a 100% chance to lower the target's attack stat by 1. I think in the original, in Legends Arceus, I'm pretty sure Bitter Malice also gave some status condition. I'm not sure. I can't remember, to be honest. I want to say that they changed up some stuff a lot, especially with this one, which we'll get to in a minute. Excuse me, I had to take a sip of my drink. But then there's the coup de grace with this Pokemon, which it still has the same ability as a regular Zoroark, which is Illusion, which with normal Ghost typing makes so much more use and utility out of this Mon just for the sake of being able to trick people into entering into battle and going up against this thing with them thinking it's going to be something else. So essentially what we kind of want to do specifically is trick some, like, let's see, what was this typing? Ghost? So we kind of want to trick in what's weak to our Ghost move here, if not U-turn, even though we want to try not to use that too much just for the sake of not losing any bonuses, especially since that Throat Spray is a temporary thing and it's a one-use item. So we might actually trade out U-turn for something else here in a minute. But basically, what we want to do with this Mon is more or less just take full advantage of that normal ghost typing because we are immune to normal thanks to and fighting thanks to ghost, as well as being immune to ghosts thanks to the normal typing. So this is only weak to dark type moves. So we essentially want to be careful about that and play around that a lot, which this mon has been out for a while due to the event distribution that was like a bonus for pre-ordering early for the DLC. So that's something to kind of keep in mind with. I'm not going over their stats, by the way, because like you can see them right here just with the shapes, and like to me, like numbers don't do anything for me at all. It's just performance, really. But let's go ahead and go to Bale. Bale has the Frisk ability, which lets you know what your item your opponent has, which is very useful. But I feel like comparing it to regular Typhlosion, it's a bit of a downgrade for the sake of not having fire immunity and being able to switch into this and get a bonus to your stats or something like that with flash fire like regular Typhlosion has, which would be very useful with a Pokemon like Hisui and Lilligant being a grass type. But we have the Focus Sash to basically hope that it survives one hit. But considering its stats, I know I just said I didn't intend to like talk about them, but considering the stats, I don't think this Focus Sash is going to have a lot of usage, so we might just look into other choices for its item. But we have Eruption, signature move of Typhlosion, uh, more power, the more HP it has. So that's something that's going to essentially get less useful over time. Even though that 150 is nice, we kind of might want to consider swapping out that move. I don't know yet. We'll see in some battles here in a minute. Then we have Infernal Parade, its signature move. This Typhlosion's signature move, being that it has a 30% chance to burn with twice as much power if the target's already statused. So already we might consider putting Will-O-Wisp. Where is it? Right there. We might consider putting Will-O-Wisp on this Pokemon and maybe even on Kabuki in order to get better usage out of Infernal Parade. Then we have Extra Sensory for coverage, and it also has a 10% chance to make the target flinch. Flinch is always good just to kind of piss off your opponent. And then we have Calm Mind just to get some bonus to special attack and special defense. This guy right here is probably going to be a glass cannon powerhouse, I would think. Essentially just like popping off Eruption and Infernal Parade as much as possible. But I might just trade out Eruption for something that's a little weaker but also has a higher chance to burn. Let's see what we got here. Because Infernal Parade itself has a 30% chance to burn, so it kind of sets itself up. But we want that burn before using Infernal Parade because that's going to take Infernal Parade from a 60 to a 120 power. But yeah, so we'll look over that stuff after a couple of battles. Then we'll go into Basculegion. We have our water type here. Also, if you haven't noticed, half this team is Ghost. That was an accident. Yes, Ghost is my favorite typing, so I'm not too upset about it. But what does really hurt is tripling up on a Ghost typing, even though it's technically only doubled up since only one Pokemon is weak to, or is has a Ghost immunity. So really, this having Ghost typing isn't actually a problem outside of being weak to Dark. But these two also have a Ghost weakness alongside their Dark weakness, and that is a problem. But back to Basculegion. We have leftovers on it because if you look at this HP stat, bulky HP stat, or what I would assume is bulky. It's in the green. I'm going to consider it. But can take a few hits. Leftovers is going to help heal it over time. Adaptability. Same type attack bonus or stab is 2 instead of 1.5. That is phenomenal. That means Wave Crash and Last Respects are going to decimate opponents. This Pokemon in competitive is going to make Houndstone look like a joke, is what my prediction is. And I feel very confident about that. But let's start with Wave Crash. Nice and simple, 100 accuracy, 120 power. hurts very bad. So we'd almost kind of want to see if there's any healing moves, but I don't think there are. I don't think we get leech, or I don't think we get I don't think we get the what is the move? The Drain Fang move, something like that. I can't remember. Basically, what Zubat has, it doesn't have that, sadly, which makes sense. It's not that kind of creature. But we have Wave Crash, strong water type move that will be even stronger. So I would imagine this hitting probably 180, if not 200 with that bonus. I'm bad at math. So Psychic Fangs we already talked about before. If Raya doesn't get it, or if Raya doesn't manage to break those shields, Basky Legion will. So that just gives us some options with that. I also noticed I have Psychic on like 3 of these, so I might want to trade that out. Last Respects, if you have seen any gameplay with Houndstone, you know exactly what this does. So Last Respects is a 50 power 100% accurate move, which boosts it boosts itself by getting 50 more points of damage added onto its already 50 points of damage for each party member that has fainted. So essentially, my goal with this Pokemon is to not use it unless it is like one of the last couple of Pokemon I have left on the team, and then just wipe with this move, especially since it's getting boosted by adaptability. However, we aren't that fast. And so what we want to do is see if we can't find something that will boost your speed, which we might trade that out for Psychic Fangs. I'm not sure. Because we kind of want to have something that can heal you, and we kind of want something that can boost your speed. And that's kind of where I see a problem with this guy. And I'm also looking in like the not commonly used stuff too, because I feel like a lot of the people that look at the moves and go, oh, well, that's actually not very useful and competitive. I try to make the most out of what my creature has. I'm using the term creature instead of Pokemon like I'm playing fucking Magic. But anyway, as you can see here, though, I'm not seeing a lot of options. And that's a problem. Though I may actually just might want to swap out Wave Crash for Aqua Jet, even though adaptability makes Wave Crash a delete button. We can get back to that. Basically, this is meant to be our saving grace, our last resort. This is, if we are losing, this is the guy that brings us back with a comeback. Let's go on to Overquill. I actually like this Pokemon a lot. I was very excited about Quillfish getting an evolution, but upset that it's one that's locked not only to a regional form, but also locked to a whole ass game. So kind of like give and take in that regard, but still I love Overquill. His design feels kind of silly, but Quillfish is kind of silly. So like I love it. So we got Black Sludge. This is literally just the poison type good healing item. It's like if you took a Toxic Orb and the Poison Heal ability and slapped them together into an item form. Or basically, it's like if you took what Poison Heal does and slapped it onto the Toxic Orb. That's basically what Black Sludge is. I know that probably anybody that clicks on this video, by the way, probably knows what the fuck a lot of this stuff is, and that I don't need to explain it. I just like to, because I would assume not everybody that looks at my channel is going to know what the fuck is what. And that's not me just kind of being a know-it-all. It's just in case somebody doesn't know what something does, they don't have to look it up and step aside from the video real quick. I'm telling you. I'm not probably doing the best job, but I'm doing so. And I think that's enough. But yeah, no. Black Sludge, basically it heals it. If it's poison type, hurts it if it's not. Poison Point, basically if it gets hit by a physical move, it will have a chance to poison whoever hits it. And that is a really good thing, especially since we don't have anything that takes advantage of the poison status specifically. We don't have anything like Hex on anything, which we might swap onto something since we have a lot of it seems like we have a lot of things that give a lot of statuses, but we'll figure that out over time. Intimidate's a good option, and I think most people would just go for Intimidate with this, just for the sheer fact of Intimidate helps a lot with uh, lowering your opponent's attack, which everybody loves Intimidate and everything. You see Intimidate like everywhere. And so this could be very helpful, but I don't think a lot of people are going to use Intimidate with this guy. I think most likely if they put him on like a rain team, he'll benefit heavily from Swift Swim, which he's already decently fast, it seems, which is crazy considering how like not fast looking this is. But like Swift Swim doubling its speed, like you can see right there, that will make this thing crazy. But we got Crunch, which is just a good, strong, dark type attack, has a 20% chance to lower their defense, so that's nice. Aqua Jet, priority. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. The only problem that I have is that it's 40 damage. I personally like Jet Punch that Palafin has way more than Aqua Jet, which I remember seeing a lot of people using Aqua Jet over Jet Punch on Palafin for a while, and I'm like, what are you doing? He literally has a better Aqua Jet on him that isn't even Aqua Jet. But then we have Toxic Spikes. Entry hazards are wonderful, especially if you can stack them. I've loved entry hazards for so fucking long. I will admit I do get annoyed when other people use them against me because I'm not much of a spin blocker or anything like, or a spinner or anything like that. I just say fuck it, I'll deal with it. And especially if they're using toxic spikes, using your own poison type is usually the best way to handle that. I think it's better to save a move slot for something better by equipping yourself with a good poison type Pokemon that can just eat up those toxic spikes because if you didn't know, when a poison type comes out into battle on top of toxic spikes, it absorbs those toxic spikes. It doesn't heal it or anything, but it basically gets rid of the toxic spikes, which is phenomenal. Usually that is my answer to most, like for example, with Glamora as an example. Glamora, it has been heavily prevalent from what I had seen. Anytime I battle, or anytime I'm on here battling, it tends to be a common part of a lot of people's teams because it has such a good set of stats, such a good set of moves. And genuinely, I use Glamora partially because I like it a lot, actually, but also because Glamora is the best answer to how you deal with other Glamora, which I may just do a video to follow this one up with my Legends, or not my Legends Arceus team, but with my Paldea team, which I'll probably do a video with all my teams. They just won't all be in the same battle format because not everything is viable in Paldea. Or basically not everything can be used in Paldea. But yeah, Toxic Spikes, I am just like salivating. What the hell? I'm talking too much. Anyway, Toxic Spikes are very, very useful. You can stack them, as you can see, up to 2 layers. And what a lot of people tend to try to do with hazards is they will try to get as many hazards out as possible, is what I've seen a lot of like hazard loving people do. And they'll just load up your side with hazards and just let you just completely fuck up your team with it if you don't have any way to answer hazards at all. But then we have Barb Barrage, the the signature move of Overquill, which has a 50% chance to poison, times 2 power if the target is already poisoned. So genuinely, with Poison Point on this thing, that's actually not a bad idea, especially if you send this out to deal with any physical attackers. Probably not a fighting type because that will hurt Overquill way too much. But the fact that if it has a 30% already chance, or if it already has a 30% chance to poison the opponent from contact, and it has a move that if the opponent's already poisoned, it'll double that 60 power to 120. Already hands down a really good move. But this move already having a coin flip chance to poison your opponent, hands down, it's amazing as a choice. It also has some other really good moves here, like Sword Stance is actually probably not a bad idea, especially since this is a physical attacker. But for now, I think we'll just play with this team and we'll see how it goes. Oh, wait, I almost forgot Lillian. Oops. Sorry, the one I was saving for last, I thought I got through them already because I've spent a lot of time talking about Overquill apparently. But now we have Hisui and Lilligant, what I think is going to be one of the uber picks in the current metagame, just because it is such a phenomenal Pokemon. The only problem I have with it is in Legends Arceus, it gets access to the move Drain Punch, which is by far probably my favorite Pokemon move ever, if not just my favorite fighting type move, which, simple enough, physical damage, does a decent amount of damage, and it heals off of it. Let me look through here just to be sure, because, yeah, no, it doesn't get, yeah, it does not get Drain Punch at all in this meta, which is heartbreaking. Or in Scarlet and Violet. It is very heartbreaking. I don't know why they took Drain Punch off of it. Probably because they thought, oh, well, it has leaves for arms. It doesn't have a fist. Fucking, then explain Wooper learning Ice Punch. But anyway, this thing I would say is phenomenal. Its speed, and I like how I said that I wasn't going to talk about stats. But anyway, its speed and its attack are already pretty decent with a middling HP is what I would assume. But looking at its move pool, you have Victory Dance, which is it's a signature move that carried over from Legends Arceus, thankfully, which is basically just a better Swords Dance. Whereas Swords Dance, I want to say, boosts just the attack by one stage. Victory Dance boosts the attack, defense, and speed by one. So it's already fairly fast, and it just gets faster. So you can stack Victory Dances on people, and you also have healing move options, I will say, with Giga Drain, and I think it probably gets Synthesis. So you have your options, like put this on a Sun team and heal for days on end. And plus, even if you wanted to swap out one of its moves for a move like Trailblaze, to where you're auto boosting your speed as you're doing damage, like, you would be heavily benefiting yourself. But Victory Dance is a phenomenal move that doesn't do any damage. It is just a buff move. But I loved it to death in Legends Arceus, especially whenever you could use, or whenever Legends Arceus's stronger, faster system, the Mighty or Vigilant styles or whatever they were called. So you could opt out for, because the whole downplay of it, right, is like if you use a damaging move, at least, if you went for Mighty, I think is what it was, is like if you went for one style, because you had the regular version of it, then you had a stronger version of it, which made it to where you just did not get the chance to attack as often. And then you have the faster version of it, which weakens the power. Well, with a move that doesn't do damage at all anyway, like Victory Dance, if you were fast enough, or faster than your opponent enough, you could slap on 3 Victory Dances in a row, is the best that I had done at one point, and just have a completely set up monster. Which, as you can tell with its like special defense and defense, it's kind of frail. But the thing is, it's fast enough to where that shouldn't matter. It's a speedy glass cannon, essentially. So we got, I don't know why I have Petal Blizzard on here. 90 power, no additional effect, hits a J. Okay, so this is good, especially since I'm going to be battling in singles, by the way. Because even though I get that the metagame is doubles, primarily, in competitive, I prefer singles because that feels better to me. Just like one-on-one. I only like doubles for aesthetic reasons of tossing up 2 Pokeballs in my head. But yeah, no. Petal Blizzard is a powerful move. I swore it had a debuff or a downside to it, but apparently not. Um, though I will say Leaf Blade is another good option since it does the same amount of damage. It just only hits one opponent and has a high crit ratio. So we're going to swap out Petal Blizzard for Leaf Blade since they do the same damage anyways. We just get a higher chance of crit off of that. Then we have Axe Kick. That's a move I'm pretty sure is new with Scarlet and Violet. Does 120 damage, 90 accuracy, and has a 30% chance to confuse your opponent, which is kind of fun. Because confusion can really fuck over somebody, but at the same time, like, I don't see many people trying to utilize confusion in competitive, so it's like, whatever. But it has a 50% recoil regardless, or it has a 50% recoil if you miss. So, like, you will lose half your HP, or half of your maximum HP if you miss this attack. So it's kind of a risky venture because you would be surprised how often 90% accurate moves miss, especially like play rough as a prime example. This doesn't learn it, but the move play rough I have missed several times before, and I don't know why. Had to take another drink. Anyway, and then we have Ice Spinner, another move that's new with Scarlet and Violet, which the idea of a grass type learning an ice type move is crazy. But like what ice could cover for grass, I can't really think of anything like flying, if anything, but I don't think there's many people that throw or like damaging flying moves around. I'm not sure. I don't really see many people throwing birds around in competitive, at least from what I've seen. But the thing can also learn Hurricane, which is questionable considering special attack, but you could always adjust that. But what the heck? Oh no, what that was? I heard something tap my window. I don't want to find out. Um, but yeah, other options for a fighting type move to put on this would be like low kick, especially since there's a lot of like bigger, heavier Pokemon, especially now that we have more Pokemon that weren't in the game before. Getting into the competitive scene, low kick may be a good option just because a lot of strong Pokemon can tend to be also very heavy. You have options like Poison Jab, which I currently have on mine in the game, which is coverage and everything. So like 30% chance to poison. We have Barb Barrage on Overquill that could benefit from that. Essentially making it to where something I want to do at some other point is basically make it to where all of my teams that I have set up basically are a bit more synergetic and not only like benefit themselves but also help their teammates, which I have a little bit of that on a couple teams already, but not everybody helps each other all that well. But yeah, no, like this thing I feel is going to be a monster, and it also gets Healing Wish, which it knocks this Pokemon out, but fully heals any Pokemon that is still alive, but like has lost health. So like if, for example, if Basculegion, if I send him out ahead of time instead of towards the end, and he gets low in HP, right? I could swap into Hisui and Lilligant, use Healing Wish, lose Hisui and Lilligant, and just that right there, I could have a full healthy team, but Hisui and Lilligant could easily just add that bonus to Basculegion's Last Respects move, turning 50 to 100 for damage. So with that being said, let's go ahead and set up a battle. Anything goes. I do anything goes, so that way I don't have any member of my party to where they can't do anything. Because you have, let me just pull this up real quick. You have Pokemon like Annihilate. I put Annihilate on my team before even knowing how good it was going to be because I loved Primeape. I saw that it got an evolution in leaks, and I was like, oh my god, I need this on my team now, and I had to rework my Kanto team because I said no repeats for or duplicate Pokemon for my different teams, and so my Kanto team has a Machamp instead of Primeape, which I'm probably sure a lot of you are going, why the heck would you have Primeape over Machamp? And to that I say I like Primeape. Okay, already I'm not liking this because we can already get an idea as to what's going to happen here. Ditto is a scary thing. This is terrifying. I usually opt out of fighting anyone with a legendary. This can be scary if you let it. And you. So I think what's going to happen is you're going to lead with Palafin. And so we might want to swap into somebody. Let's send out Kabuki just as a good means of a lead. Hold on, how fast are you compared to you? 328 has 262. That's not going to be fast enough if you flip turn. Oh, it wants me to pick. Oh, this is a problem. Okay. I didn't realize that's what it wanted. Okay, this is kind of good for us. Okay, that's not too bad. Yeah, I thought that recover was coming. It's hyper voice, see what it does. Oh, that's not good. But we get our bonus off of that. Alright, hyper voice, you can't protect twice in a row. I'm gonna U-turn. Will it let me swap? No. You can't protect twice in a row. Let's see here. That's a bit of a problem. Especially because you could hurt a lot of things that I have. So I think what we do is play around your toxic with our own burn. And Psychic Fangs, because that's going to be beneficial. Psychic Fangs, you're gonna you're gonna protect. I realized how close my mic was to my mouth. Sorry if I was loud. We're gonna Facade. We really need Raya for that Palafin though. Cause let me see, you're 339. You're possibly faster. Which that's one loss down. So Houndstone could easily. Are you having fun? What? What is that name? We are going to play around this real quick. Because we don't have any ground, do we? Yeah, no, see, we don't really account for someone taking our Pokemon. Nice. But that ability is a problem. We got one set of spikes out. We can drop a second and a third. because you don't have any poison anymore to eat it up. That sucks ass. Okay. Oh, sevens. Now... Cool. We want Palafin out, because it'll get poisoned. And that'll take care of any extra damage that we may need. Oh, that sucks ass. Let's see, we don't have anything that can really touch you. We'll still try for a Leaf Blade. And now we are going to swap you out for Kabuki, because you'll try to Last Respects, but it won't work. And Poison didn't take us just yet. Let's get a Bitter Malice going. Good. That takes care of Houndstone. And 07's for Kabuki. You're going to be a problem. I didn't even really think of what we were going to do about Miraidon, but I don't expect us to win this. Oh, oops. That was a misclick. That was a big misclick. I don't think we're fast enough. Last Respects. Because we have 2 down. Oh, you made a mistake. Okay, you weren't a problem at all. Go ahead and send in Mirai. Because yes, your electric is terrifying and you might just actually kill. But let's Terra Ice and Last Respect. Yeah, no, that Terra Ice didn't save us from shit. Okay. We will not be strong enough at all. Oh, Ice Spinner. Shit. Yeah, that's something that could have fucking helped. Let's Infernal Parade, even though I don't think we lived it. Okay, we might actually get through this if we can play around the poison. Because that poison's going to help us. So we're going to save Lillian for that Raya clone. And we're going to hope that poison knocks it out. Awesome, awesome. And what's great is that we have a fucking... Let's Ice Spinner. We'll get rid of the electric terrain, even though I don't think that hurts us here. But we'll also take care of her. We just have to hope that she's not faster. Or wins the speed tie, basically. Oh, we fucking have Kabuki? I didn't realize we had Kabuki. I thought Kabuki fainted. Well, shit. Okay, why is Kabuki still highlighted? As if she's still there. That's a weird glitch. Always be respectful. Okay, bye. But yeah. See, with that, if we could have lucked out on speed tie, we could have actually taken them out. But the thing is, it was such a close call to that. But that was a good fight. That was a good battle. Let's have another one. Oh, shit. Let's have another one real quick. Let me check recording time. We'll go for another, like, 20 minutes. Ooh, shh. Okay, this isn't too bad. Chen Pao is scary. We're gonna lead Kabuki, Lillian, Basque, Overquill, Raya, Bale. That way, it looks like we're leading with Bale, but instead, yeah, let's go ahead and nasty plot. Nasty plot. That future sight's actually gonna hurt. Probably. What is that, psychic? That shouldn't do too much. We definitely need to take care of that. Because if you, you shouldn't have baton pass. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Okay, good. Took care of that. Oh, yep, there it went. 07's to Kabuki. Okay, I don't know what you're going to lead with next, so I'm going to overquill. This is okay. I really wish overquill had like a water absorption kind of ability. Aqua Ring is a pain in the ass. I like that name, Deep Blue. Hopefully that's not any window of any kind. That would be sus as hell. Does Aqua Ring Baton Pass? Also, I thought Baton Pass was legal. Well, that don't make any goddamn sense. But also, oh, and you defogged the spikes away. That's not fun. Your dark poison. Do you get close combat? That is my question. That Aqua Ring is not a fun time. Okay, yeah, this is... I don't know what they were cooking other than getting those spikes off the field. Yeah, I was worried about that. I want Barb Barrage. You don't have anything that would be immune to that. Because already I don't like where this is going. There we go, there we go. I don't think that wish is going to matter unless it hits before we do. Because I feel like I'm winning this HP heal off. There we go. And then you can't pass that ring on. But if you send that bird back out, that's going to just keep spikes off the field indefinitely. Let's Aqua Jet, not even play around with the spikes. I don't know why you keep sending out Talonflame against this thing. You know it has Aqua Jet. Like I said, though, that Chimpao is kind of scary. That Mimikyu is also scary. Where'd you go, bud? Oh, I thought it said he left for a second. I misread that. But yeah, no. Yeah, I figured that was happening. We don't have anything that deals with that other than Lillian, but she has a severe weakness to ice. Anything that we can play around that? Well, we have Bale. We just have to worry about Dark. Toxic Spikes. Ooh, that's not fun. Okay, we can at least do that. Aqua Jet, you'll resist, but it's damage. Because you are definitely faster. How did you outspeed Priority? No, hold on. What the hell was that? You shouldn't be able to outspeed Priority. That doesn't sound right. But okay. Okay, what do we have here? We could hope for a last respects since we have 2 down. And you've got ice going. Oh, but you have Sacred Sword. So that could actually... never mind. 07s. That's a problem. So you have Crunch, which... Let's just hope. Like, I know you're not going to be faster, but, like, shit. We can Terra Fire and then Eruption. Okay, Terrifier saved us from that fucking uh what would have been an Oko. However, yeah, you weren't living that. Goodbye, bud. This is why I don't like playing against people with legendaries because like there is no fight to be had once they enter. Like every now and then you can take care of them with somebody, but there's just no guarantee you can do shit about it. Um we can we can play rough and hope. Okay, that killed. So we have an option. What sucks is we're that low on health with that burn. Hi, Mimikyu. Wait, shit. That okay. Yeah, that was my bad. I forgot what I was up against. Yeah, this is gonna suck ass. Cause no matter what I do, it's gonna tank the damage. But you're still poisoned, which is important. Um, this is all I got left. So here, because you're just gonna go for murder. Um, can't hit it with that, so we have Ice Spinner and we have Leaf Blade, which I think Fairy may resist. So let's just fuck it. Let's Leaf Blade. Why? That sucks. That sucks ass. That's gonna suck absolute ass. Leaf Blade and Hope. Yeah, because it takes you out now. And then, yeah, that curse sucks. Okay, Angus the tank. That speaks years. Grass fighting. Ice Spinner and Hope. That curse damage. We may have it. We may have it. I don't. Let me. Accuracy 80 though. That's the problem. Fucker. Yeah, GG. I didn't realize I hadn't terrestrialized yet. Hey, they set it back. Thank you. Yeah, no, that was a wash for sure. But the thing is, that is actually fairly smart, just because if you're aware, like take that's why I love Chestnut in general. I run him on my Kalos team. Um, actually, I guess I could pull that up while I'm talking about it. Uh, I run. I'm not gonna go through everything, but I run Chestnut on my Kalos team and everything. Now that I'm thinking about it, we're just gonna do that, which that's only good if you're dealing with a specific situation. Excuse me, because Terra Steel is not going to save you from a fire attack, which is usually what I would imagine most people think to go for when going up against a Chestnut. But the thing is, I'll go ahead and pull up my Hisui team just to kind of have that sitting there. But yeah, no, that was a smart play on their part. If I had even known anything about that at all, I could have predicted and gone into an axe kick and hoped that it fucking hit. So far, Lillian's problems is that she has fucking. Why is Leaf Blade missing? There's some problems going on with this website, I think, because that's a 100 accurate move. Why is it missing? That that's annoying. Because that missed, like you guys saw that missed twice, and there was not a debuff to be had on Lilligant. So that's really weird. I do think Healing Wish would be nice for it, but we kind of need to rely on what we have. Um, so essentially, just to kind of go through, Bale, much like Typhlosion, sadly, like regular Typhlosion, it doesn't get a lot of usage in battle. Calm Mind didn't get used at all, so we will probably swap that out. Kabuki, a solid lead to be sure, just because of it not taking damage the way people think it will, but it's a matter of putting the right Pokemon at the end of the party, which I think is why it was telling me to choose what order they all go in. It was just because this is there. I don't think that was like a formatting thing. Basculegion. I'll be honest, we'll get rid of Psychic Fangs just because we already have like Psychic on 2 Mons, and rarely ever do you ever have that as a problem. Rarely ever do you ever need Psychic in any regards, unless you're dealing with a Poison type. But even then, you'll probably have like Ground or something. But this team also doesn't have Ground, so that's what part of my thought process of that was. Lillian, again, probably swap out Axe Kick just because that 50% HP loss is very detrimental. Overquill genuinely wasn't even a problem. He's kind of the tank, which is saying something when you consider its stats. But it was also doing well at outspeeding a lot of stuff. I think Toxic Spikes can stay, Bar Barrage can stay, Aqua Jet definitely stays. I need to put more priority on stuff in general, because I will tend to look at the power and go, oh, that's not worth it. I need to get out of that mindset, because the thing is, even though, yes, Aqua Jet is 40 power, it's also priority. And so even though there was one point where you saw it didn't go first. It got outsped even though it's priority, and I don't understand what was going on. I think that might be an issue. Will I look into it? Probably the fuck not. But yeah, that was really weird. And then Raya. Our only mistake with her was having her at the end of the party, or no, having her enter on that Ditto, knowing we didn't have anything that could handle a pure electric type. I also didn't realize that Ditto turns back to Ditto after it swaps out. I didn't think that was a thing, but that might be an update to how Transform works, or how Imposter works. But anyway, Wild Charge I've always questioned it just because, yes, it's powerful, but it hurts. Genuinely, I try to keep away from anything with recoil. Psychic Fangs actually isn't too bad. Play Rough, again, you have that like 10% chance to miss, and Facade is kind of staple with this set. But yeah, I think I will leave it here. I know I talked for the majority of it, but I will just jump right into it next time. If you guys really liked this, and if you actually liked me like rambling on like I did, then I can definitely do more. I really want to do more Pokemon content. If it's not obvious by just how focused and how into it I am, I really do love Pokemon and love to talk about Pokemon, so I wouldn't have a problem doing more content of it on this channel. Just keep in mind, I don't intend for this to become a Pokemon channel. I want to do more with this channel than Pokemon. But that being said, I hope you guys all loved this video. Again, sorry for not posting for 2 weeks, and I will try to keep weekly content up. I may put more than just one video out a week. I don't know yet. It just depends on how work tends to leave me in terms of energy and stuff like that. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay spooky, and I'll see you guys around.